Y'all, it's Candace from Little Steps Big Happy. I blog about health and fitness tips for moms. Today I wanted to talk about something that I'm kind of seeing a lot, and it's understandable, or it makes sense, but it's I feel like not in everybody's best interest. I guess if that's the best way to put it. So what I'm kind of seeing is people are just kind of in this survival mode, and they're under a lot of stress, and one of the ways that they deal with it is they're just kind of eating all the stuff. They're not exercising. They're throwing a lot of their healthy habits and their fitness efforts or their health efforts or their losing weight efforts are kind of thrown out the window, and they're just setting it aside and just kind of thinking to themselves, I'm going to deal with that later. I got too much going on right now. That's just going to have to wait. And like I said, it's understandable that your mind would kind of think that that's a good idea right now. A lot of us, when we get in crisis mode, it's like, what are the things that I got to do? And it all feels really intense. It all feels really overwhelming. And your brain just gets worn out and tired. And you kind of be like, hey, you know what? That's too hard. That's too much work. That's too much effort right now. But here's kind of the thing. Something I kind of want you guys to know and to think about is those things, although they do require some energy to do, they give you energy. They help you deal with the other things in your life better. You know what I mean? Like when I exercise, I have more energy throughout my day. I feel better. And when I feel better, I can deal with things like my kids driving me nuts better. And I can deal with the stress of what if my husband doesn't get enough hours this week, because I have more energy. And the same thing applies to eating healthy. When I eat healthy, I feel better. I mean, look, I know the bad food tastes good for a minute, but most of the time it doesn't make us feel good later. If you're feeling overfull, if you have in the back of your mind knowing that I'm going to have to deal with all of this later. I'm going to have to lose weight when this quarantine is over. I'm eating all this junk and I know I shouldn't. That stuff sits in your mind, and that takes up mental energy that a lot of us don't even have right now. So instead of putting that mental energy towards doing things that make us feel better, we end up wasting that mental energy feeling like crap about the things we shouldn't be doing. Do you know what I mean? So it seems like a good idea in the moment. It seems like it's going to relieve stress or take something off of your plate to kind of abandon a lot of our healthy habits right now. But in essence, you're shifting your time and energy from something that makes you feel better and is something positive in your life to now really making the negative things in your life harder or adding to them. So I kind of want you to think about that. But I get it. Not all of us can be going full force maybe the way we were before. Or maybe you hadn't been going full force before. You hadn't really been going along. Maybe you were trucking along a little bit, and then now you've just kind of given up completely, and you wish you knew how to get started. Or you want to stop the track you're on right now before it gets any worse, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I had a few days, moments, week, where when, things really kind of initially hit the fan and I started understanding the impact of all this on our family, it was kind of like crap, and I can't think about exercising and I can't think about eating right now because my brain is just so consumed by this stress and anxiety that I'm feeling. But I'm going to tell you what, it wasn't more than a few days in that I kind of caught myself and checked myself and realized the way that you're responding to this is making it worse, not better. It's making you feel worse, not better. You can't control the environment around you. You can't control how many people are getting sick. You can't control the way people are acting. You can't control how many hours your husband makes. You can't control any of that stuff. I'm like, but you know what? I can control what I eat right now. I can control how I respond. I can control how I exercise. I can control my schedule and the things that I do. And I can make sure I do things that make me feel better. You know what I mean? Here's a thought I've been having a lot lately. What if I can make something good come out of this? What if something good comes out of this is I learn how to manage a crisis without gaining weight and without overeating? What if I find a way to help people do that? You know what I mean? What if I can come out of this stronger? What if I can come out of this feeling healthier? Like, if I can't stop it, which I can't, a thought that I've been having a lot is, what good can I make come from this situation? And that's, turned around a lot of my thinking. And it's that thought feels so much better than, this is terrible, this is awful, this sucks, all these bad things are happening. Reminding myself, what good can I get out of this situation? And, for me, one of those is really getting good at dealing with stress and anxiety and uncertainty without wanting to eat through it, and learning how to prioritize exercising even with all these other things going on. Like, those are skills that I want forever. And, knowing that I can keep those up during something like this, I mean, that's empowering right now. And that really helps me to feel like I can keep this up for the long term. You know what I mean? Because I really believe that when you make healthy changes, you make healthy habits in your life, you should make them with the goal that you're going to do them forever. You're going to keep them up, because the reason that you want to make these changes doesn't disappear. Like, if you want to lose weight, you don't want to lose weight for a minute. Most of us want to lose weight and then we want to keep it off. If you want to get stronger, you don't want to get stronger today and then it's okay if you lose all that tomorrow. No, you want to keep it long term. So you're going to want to keep your healthy habits long term, no matter what life throws at you. So with that idea in mind, and the idea that I would love for y'all to find a way to really kind of keep this stuff up when things are going crazy right now, I wanted to share with you just 3 or 4 things that are easy habits that you can do that really are going to help you feel better physically, mentally, and they help your health. You know what I mean? Like, if you're losing weight, they're going to help you keep that up. If your goal is just overall to be healthier and to add in more of the healthy things in your life, these are really just easy things that you can do to keep your mind in the mentality that you are still working on this. So the very first one is to try to drink water, and specifically try to drink like up to 64 ounces of water a day. I mean, water, it sounds funny, but it can give you more energy. Obviously, it keeps you hydrated, good for your skin, good for your body, all your systems. Our bodies need water, and they don't need soda, they don't need juice, they don't need coffee, they need water. Now, I know some of y'all are like, Candace, my body needs coffee. Okay, fine. I'm not saying to cut out all of the other drinks, but I would encourage you, when possible, to just add in more water each day. You would be surprised at the effect it has. I mean, first of all, like I said, we've already talked about what it does to your body, but it lowers your food cravings. So those of y'all who find yourself rummaging through the pantry, every hour on the hour, a lot of the times it could be because you're thirsty, not hungry. And one of the things that our body does is that we need water, right? And so if you're not getting it from water, from liquid intake, your body's going to get it from food. There's a surprising amount of water in food. So your body is going to be like, okay, she's not drinking. We tried that. Hey, let's say we're hungry, because we know that she will follow through on that. And so you go get, a snack, something, whatever, and your body's going to get some of the water from that. So drinking water definitely will help you kind of get on track and feel on track. The second thing I wanted to share is that you guys can try to make a plan, a food plan for each day. It doesn't have to be the world's best plan. Like, the best plan is a realistic plan that you're going to stick to. There's a couple of theories behind this. I mean, one, when you make a plan and you try to stick with it, odds are really good you're going to eat less than you normally would. If you just go by every urge, thought, feeling that hits your body, you're going to eat more than your body needs, because there are many, many things that cause urges to eat besides just hunger. Emotions, stress, thirst, dehydration, anxiety, boredom. You got hunger, then you got all the other things, habit. that are going to cause you to go eat. So when you make a food plan, and you make a realistic plan, so, you know, if you don't ever eat broccoli and chicken, don't put broccoli and chicken on your food plan. Like that's just setting yourself up for failure. Make something realistic, but make a plan and include what you think you might eat that day. And what happens is, as you continue to make your plan and you stick with your plan, you learn to commit to something that you've planned. You've committed to an expectation of yourself, and then from there you can start kind of leveling it up when you're ready and kind of making healthy swaps and minor adjustments and finding areas that you can kind of improve it based off of what your health goals are. So like if you're trying to lose weight, you know, and you put on your plan that you're going to have a bag of chips every afternoon, you know, then one day when you're ready, you're going to have half a bag of chips. And then, you know, maybe you swap it out for popcorn, and then, you know, so on and so forth. But it all starts with that very first habit of planning your food and deciding what you're going to eat ahead of time. And another thing that this does for you guys, that maybe we don't always appreciate before we kind of get into it, is that it frees up space in your brain that you don't have to think about what you're going to eat. Like, think about how much time that you think about what you're going to eat. You wake up, what am I going to eat? What am I going to feed the kids? Is this something good to eat? Well, I'm hungry now. What am I going to eat now? You know, do I have this? Do I have that? So on and so forth. That requires a lot of energy, especially if in the back of your mind is the goal of the healthy habit, right? If you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to eat healthier, if you're trying to add in more vegetables, then in your mind, if you're like, well, what am I going to eat? And then you have your first thought, well, here, I want to go eat some pizza. And then you have another thought, well, I shouldn't be eating pizza. And then you have another thought. And then the negotiations start. Well, I want the pizza. Well, maybe I'll only eat this much pizza. If you've already got a plan for the day, you don't have to go through all of that. So when you're feeling overwhelmed because you've got so much thoughts in your head, imagine being able to take the thought of what am I going to eat all day off of that list. It frees up a surprising amount of space. So I think a 24-hour plan is a really good place to start if you're not used to making plans. If you're good at it, make one for the week. You know, if you've done it before and just got off track, go ahead and make one for the week if that works for you. Some people like a little more variety in their life, so they don't want to be that planned out. But one of the things that I do is I kind of make a list of options for the week, and then each morning I make my plan for what I want to eat that day. And then one of the last steps I want to share with y'all is to get enough sleep each night. Your body needs to rest. Your brain needs to rest. You need to reset. And for some of us, sleeping right now might be hard. You know, if you're dealing with a lot of stress and anxiety, it might be hard to sleep. But go do it. Go try. Put in the effort. Put yourself to bed as early as you need to get, 7-8 hours of sleep if you can. I find having a unwinding routine each night is really, really useful. Like if I do the same set of actions every night, like I'll tell you, so I'm in bed, laying there next to my toddler who's taking forever to fall asleep. And one of the first things I do is I journal about my day on my phone. So I'm just kind of typing away, how was my day? What things went well? What things do I want to work on for tomorrow? And then I have a couple little games that I like to play that are really relaxing for my brain. Like I like to do word puzzles. Those really slow my brain down. They give my brain just enough to have something to think about without stimulating me and getting me kind of worked up. To help my brain relax. Sometimes I might read a book that I really like. I help my brain unwind. And then, if I get to a point where I'm still struggling, then I'll sit down and I'll kind of just meditate and just a thought that brings me peace, that brings me calm, and I just kind of think it and focus. And if a stray thought comes in, we kick it out and we just try to, and next thing you know, I'm asleep. And it's taken practice where when I do that every single night before I go to bed, my brain has associated those habits with going to sleep. So they instantly start to relax me. They instantly start to wind me down. And so now I've got, a system that even I could do this in the middle of the day. Start doing any of those things in the middle of the day. That, like in that order, I promise you, I will start to drift off because, I've wired my brain to understand that these are the steps and actions that lead to sleep. So, those are kind of my tips for y'all today. I know it's a crazy time. I know it's a stressful time. But you can have something good come out of this. You can still follow through on your healthy habits. You can still do these activities and have something good come out of this when all this is over. I don't want y'all to think that because this happened, you had to start all over again. You don't. You can keep going. Even if it's not full throttle like you were before, even if it's not 100%, you can still keep your mind in the place that you are working on this. And then that, when life gets back to normal, you won't feel like you're starting all over. You won't feel like you're just way back at the starting line. You know what I mean? You'll feel like, okay, you know what? I wasn't going 100%, but I was still on the road. I was still moving forward. I did the easy things. And now that things are ready to go, you know, I'm still in a pretty good place to keep going. So, all right. That's what I have for y'all today. I hope you guys have a really good week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.